Hey everybody, welcome back to Dunrovin Ranch in lovely Lolo, Montana. I'm not even going to pretend it's balmy. I'm going to use the word seasonal today. It is a little chilly, low 40s. I think the wind chill cuts a few degrees off, but again, with the right clothes, all is good. I've got many layers on. You may recognize the brilliant yellow jacket I got at the Goodwill last year. The better for you to see me with is the reason I bought it. And it's ridiculously warm. It's a little drizzly, windy. I fed a big breakfast for the horses so they could nibble on the hay until I feed dinner. We spoke a while ago about how we keep horses warm enough. And I should probably revisit that conversation because we have new people with us this time. Today, on Boots on the Ground, the program during which I show you something that you can't see from the cams. Oh, I do want to, before I do that, oh, by the way, Boots on the Ground, I'm going to show you the feed room, but I just got distracted. Hi, Erskine. I want to tell you what I see from this way is I see the ski slopes, which the ski runs, which are about covered with snow about halfway down. It's gorgeous. The horses are looking at me. Erskine's wondering who I'm talking to. There's so many leaves falling. It's just gorgeous. So I was going to show you the feed room. It was your suggestion, actually. So the feed room, as you know, I can show you. Well, James is our cam op today, so we have to be gentle with him. The feed room, the first shot, James, of the feed room is how you see it from the hay barn. Those are the two doors. And there's a latch, a sliding latch, closing the doors shut. And I have a clip on it because you don't want anything or anyone to get into it, like divas, ponies, foxes, anything like that. You can see right there, it's gorgeous after Bree painted it. And you can see also to the right a little bit extra buckets we've got there. We've got some stuff. And I can so what you see when you look to the right is the stall that's usually Chinook's stall. Crow's in it right now. That was my view to the right when I took photographs a little bit ago. Mr. Crow wanting food. Yeah, that stall is really the prime spot for begging. And I hope that no one feeds him when he begs or when anyone begs. Look at the boy right there. And then, oh, look at the sky. That's crazy. You see on the in front of Crow there is a spigot, which I believe Sterling is going to fix later today. And James, he mentioned you as someone to help him. And those are some tire feeders, which upside down on the ground there. Behind Crow is the sorting pen and then the north pasture. To the left, when I'm standing facing the feed room, is what we call the tack area, and that's the view to the left. When you go inside the tack room, the feed room, excuse me. On the left are some galvanized metal trash cans, which hold various feeds. We've talked about the different kind of pellets and the different kind of mineral and fat supplements that a couple of the horses get, and that's where they stay on the left. It's also, as you can see, kind of the staging area for things that have to go from one place to another. Sometimes there's just not enough time to get every project completed in the amount of time you have. So, for instance, that purple burgundy bin on the bottom is stuff that came out of the 2-horse trailer, and that's in transition elsewhere. I think now the picture, we have a picture to the left when you walk in. There's the feed bins again, and lots of tools on the pegboard on the left. When you're out there and you need to fix something or you need to adjust something, there's rarely time to come all the way back to the garage, get your tools, go back out there, fix it, and return Sterling's tools to the garage. So it's a good idea to have to have supplies and tools where you need them. To the right are those are feed storage areas that have been there a while. They're empty right now for the most part. The reason I stopped using those bins right there and decided to just keep the grain out in trash cans is that despite our best efforts, mice continue to get into the feed. So there was some old grain in there that had some mouse droppings in it, so we swept that out, vacuumed it out, did our best to get rid of the little critters. And now that we have red fox out there, I've only seen one mouse, and that was in the hay barn, so that's not bad. Up on top there, besides the WD-40 and jars of things, there's some apple cider vinegar, which is really good to put in the water for digestion, and it helps repel flies when the horses ingest it. There's also some other supplements. There's some joint sups up there, little containers, anything we might need. I think we have a shot directly of that whiteboard that is on the wall. Now, you know, Ranch Hand Wardasani is a teacher. So I asked her to work with me to come up with a whiteboard so whoever was feeding breakfast and lunch would know exactly who got what. So that's what a fourth grade teacher does on a ranch for a feed board. It's awesome. It's by stall. You can see that it's the breakfast and lunch menu, and it's pretty classic. Up in the right-hand corner, I think she put hashtag RHW for Ranch Hand Wardasani, and in the lower right-hand corner, I put hashtag OMG, and she eventually noticed it. I lost our hangout, so I am going to go. Oops. I've lost visual here. That's okay. I'll just keep talking. So as you continue on to the back, further back on the left, you will see there's the harnesses there. Those are the captain's harnesses for when they pull the cart around. There's tubs of, yeah, I got it back now. There are tubs of feed bags, blankets. Oh boy, just everything a ranch has. When you have this many equines and you're this busy and you have so many projects going on, you have to have storage, and this is a really good place to store kind of the overflow. That's also down there on the lower left. You can see that's where we have a tub of riding boots, various sizes, from little to adult size, because not very often, but sometimes people show up in flip-flops or Tevas or something that are too dangerous to ride in, and we offer them boots. There's some feed bags hanging up there. And then on the right, we've got extra buckets, extra supplements, and then we've got some really nice saddles there in the back, which Suzanne has a story about. Maybe that's a good Tall Tales broadcast. Those are Icelandic saddles, which are special saddles for fjords and Icelandics. And that's probably a really good story. And what else is in there? I don't have a pic of it specifically, but there on the back wall we've got feeders that hang on fences. We've got tons of horseshoes that Calvin's pulled off over the last couple of years that we give out sometimes. Nuts, bolts, bungee cords, anything you could probably imagine is in that feed room. You can see there's a lantern on the right up there. There's no light in there, and I'm working on a system to get light in there. If it's dark, we all have headlamps, but sometimes it's nice just to be able to flick on a light. There are motion lights in there, and I replaced the batteries last year, but I could never quite get them to work. So I'll probably troubleshoot those again, and if not, figure something else out. I know what they have. They have pretty bright lights that just work off like a watch battery, and they're bright enough to get us through a morning or evening. And there you go. On the green bucket on the left is the mineral supplement the horses get usually in the morning during the high season. That white container, by the way, contains something called Sand Clear. It is psyllium for horses. You feed it dry 1 week a month, and it becomes a gel in their stomach, and it helps pass any sand, gravel, anything that they happen to pick up that shouldn't be in there. Because as you all are well aware, horses cannot vomit. So if they get something in their stomach that doesn't sit well, there's nothing they can do about it, and that's when we get colic. There are lots of horror stories about, horse colics. It goes to the hospital. It had 8 pounds of gravel in its abdomen. These stories are not that uncommon. So any day now, actually, before we put the horses over to the winter pasture on October 25th, we'll run some Sand Clear through everyone. We'll also worm everybody. If we get another hard frost or two, it'll be time to worm with an ivermectin product to get those parasites that respond to the ivermectin. So that is our feed room. It's really functional. It's pretty well organized. We all know our way around it really well. Going back to October 25th, that's the plan. Taylor and I are going to move the herd over to the school land. On the 24th, we have 3 6-person river rides. And these people are the wives of the guys that came a month or so ago. We had some guys who come from New Frontier Ministries. I think it's in Ohio. And we had 3 big groups of guys. And their wives will be riding on the 24th. And that's the first time that New Frontiers has included the men's wives in their program. So I'm very excited about that. I teased the guys a lot. I said, "Whoa, your wives are coming. Oh, okay. I'll be sure to take them on the harder ride." And so I'm going to have to rib the wives about their husbands as well when they get here. Who's going to stay? I bet you're going to ask me who's going to stay over here. The Littles, of course. Doc and Crow, because Doc needs special care, and Crow I will be working with to have him lose a lot of weight, get him muscled up a little bit for our trip. And Mystery and Augie, well, Augie would definitely stay. He probably needs another year of looking after before a harsh Montana winter over there. And Mystery, we've been talking about having Mystery stay because I will continue training him with Brandon. I don't know how far into the year that will go. The end of the year. I believe we talked about Augie and Mystery, Suzanne and I have talked about Augie and Mystery going over to the winter pasture in January. And I was going to put someone else in with Augie to get him used to another horse, and then Augie could get acclimated to the pasture. We were going to use Lonza and to see if she would go into milk, but she went into milk. She's in milk now. She's always in milk. So she needs to dry up before we put her in with him for any other length of time. So maybe Uncle Monty, although we use Uncle Monty. So that's something that we always have to think about. There's always plans to be made. It's a puzzle. It's a big puzzle of how to keep everyone healthy and happy and with the appropriate friend. Crow gets along with everybody, and Crow and Augie have been together. Crow, Augie, and Mystery have been together, I believe. So that's an option. That's boots on the ground. Now you know what's in the feed room. Please let me know what else you want to see. What else do we have? We have a lot. We have quite a few little outbuildings. Exciting time at 2 o'clock, everyone. I will be interviewing Ralph and Jamie Walters. And they're the rescheduled interview from Sunday. They are the evil geniuses behind Big Sky Breakout. And they have concocted a game to be played on the premises. And you all, apparently, sadly, will be running Ranch Hand Wardasani and me around like fools trying to solve a puzzle. Please be kind. I'm old. Please be kind. Please help me win. If it's a competition thing with Wardasani, you know she can't win. There will be no living with her. She's quite competitive. I don't know if you figured that out. So I will talk to Ralph and Jamie at 2 and kind of get as many clues and hints as I can as to what is happening Sunday, which is the big day for the game. It's supposed to be nice, cold but clear. I hope you're all on my side. I expect you to be on my side for this. And if you want to send Wardasani in some kind of weird direction on a wild goose chase, you have my blessing. I'm going to sign off from Boots on the Ground now. Thank you for joining me. Please let me know what else you want to see on the ranch. And I know you'll be back at 2 o'clock. Thank you, James, for cam-opping and being the audio tech. And we will see you all in about 40 minutes. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.